Hmm. Hmm. So, hello, Vitor. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hello. So tell us a bit more about how this idea came to be. How did you think of an invasion of the Earthmen? Where did this concept come from?
Well, actually, if we go back in time, the first origin is straight away a meditation I was doing quite a few years ago. And it was a special moment of inner focusing. And, well, I can confess that I had this sort of impression that I was really in touch with an alien from a faraway land. And about 1 year later, I had this idea of writing my book. And at that time, the inspiration came extremely easily, as if the book was writing itself. So the worlds, the ideas, even the plot was very easy to develop and to find. And it was a nice time of inspiration, so to say. At the same time, of course, I'm rather critic about our present-day society, and I was thinking exactly that if we go to a distant planet, probably we'll bring with us our own paranoia and all of our misdoings, so to say, so we'll be the invaders there. Probably it will not be so easy for them to welcome us. Although I don't really believe that this might happen while we are as we are.
Listening to your description, I'm thinking that many people describe this book as very real, and that your descriptions of the environment are very, very accurate, as if people had been there. What can you comment about that?
Well, I do believe that our psyche has many layers, and we might have all sorts of inner experiences even while we are asleep. And so what comes to my mind is that consciously, in my direct consciousness, I was only aware of this sort of subjective meeting with a supposed alien being, and a corresponding telepathic exchange, and a corresponding kind of deep sharing. But later, I don't recall being there directly in that planet, but this could indeed be a sort of a memory, a little bit in the sense of a hidden unconscious memory of some actual experience.
So I assume you believe and you think there are probably other humanities out there?
Oh yes, I'm pretty convinced that we might find all sorts of humanities all around our galaxy and probably many other areas of the universe. And to me, humanity is not just about shape. It's about a state of being where we are self-aware. We can develop ourselves, we can work on ourselves, and we can eventually get in our right place in the universe.
In that sense, is Ixnor an utopia? Is Ixnor a perfect Earth, a future Earth? What do you think?
Well, it's an utopia in a way. It's a pointer towards a possible future. I do believe that we might become like the Ixnorians of my book, The Invasion of the Earthmen, and at the same time I believe that we must become a little bit like the Ixnorians, because at this time in our planetary human evolution we are facing the possibility of extinction unless we develop to a different state and stage, and unless we can really manage our planet differently, we can develop a different relationship with all the other species of our planet and probably species from other worlds. although I don't quite believe they will directly contact us, and they will never give us their secrets very easily until we become different from the sort of intelligent monkeys that we are still. So I believe there are all sorts of humankinds, probably with different shapes, but sharing this self-awareness, although, as I say in my book, I believe we are still in a pre-cosmic state. So in the future, perhaps, when we get to a cosmic state of consciousness as a bunch of humans in the universe, we'll be able to collaborate at a cosmic level also with other civilizations, and we'll be really civilized. I don't believe we are until now. We are eventually able to get to that state, but for the time being we are just too dangerous to higher species. We are too self-centered. We are not really able to be a planetary species, able to deal with interplanetary relationships or cosmic relationships. But I am optimistic about it. I think we are getting there.
That line of thought, what does humanity, this humanity, need to evolve?
Oh, I would say that the most important thing is consciousness expansion, but as you might understand, consciousness can be expanded towards several directions, in space, in time, in comprehension, and also it can expand in a way towards different quality layers. But to me, the most important area now to be attained by us as a human species is ethics. It's a different way of being in love with our planet, with other species, with each other, and it's a different state of consciousness where we are becoming a self-aware part of a much larger group of living beings. So we are getting towards a very large compassion, towards universal love, towards a sense of unity.
In that sense, your book is also one of the distinctive traits of your book, is that it combines these two elements, the high-tech sci-fi element and the spiritual, ethical aspect also.
Yes, that's part of the way I like to think. I like high-tech stuff, indeed. I like science fiction. It was one of my passions as an adolescent. I was very much into science fiction. Of course, I read many authors. Namely, one of the most important to me was Heinlein with Strange in a Strange Land, or the History of the Future. Those were powerful works, in the same way as Dune from Frank Herbert. And I think high technology is something we don't want to discard, we don't want to get rid of it. The main thing is that we must find a different way to use it, to the benefit of all living beings, so in a not egoistic, self-centered way. But also, this high-tech and general science must be at the service of humans, and probably not just at the service of humans, perhaps at the service of a universal unfolding of evolution, of consciousness, of life. And so we must get into a much larger way of thinking and a different perception of ourselves as being parts of a much larger unity.
Very well, thank you. So you were telling us about your interests. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself as a person? What would you like
Well, I would say I am a sort of an intelligent monkey trying to become something else. I am trying to learn my way of being a human and collaborating with humanity, the one we know directly about, of course, perhaps other humanities, if I might, and I'm trying to find my way of being, so to say, in collaboration with the universe. And aside from that, yeah, I am a psychologist, I have a PhD in psychology, I'm a psychotherapist working with the transpersonal approach. I like hypnosis, meditation, regression therapy, all sorts of things like that. And I write a lot.
You write a lot. And in different mood, where did you get inspiration for your characters of your book?
Well, some of them just came to my mind as possible representatives of a more evolved humanity. Also, of course, they were inspired in some traditions around masters of wisdom that might be found in our planet even. But also I got some inspiration, of course, within myself, my friends, my family, some close people.
Very well. So let's do some casting. Let's try. Who do you think would make a good